Hi everybody, it's Jeff. Hope you guys are all doing really well today. I've been fighting a stomach bug for 3 or 4 days. Haven't been doing much of nothing. Just laying around taking it easy. But I'm feeling better today, so I thought I'd try and get a video out. This will be part 7 of the Roden Holt 75 artillery tractor. I did a lot of little things, filling seams, re-riveting. I worked on the sink marks on that roof, that corrugated roof. I'll show you. But yeah, I got a little bit done this week. Just hadn't been feeling real good. But anyway, we got a snowstorm right now, so just sitting here taking it easy. Let's go down to the bench, and I'll show you where we're at. Okay? All right. Be right back, guys. Thanks. In the last video, we talked about some sink issues with this roof. I'd asked everybody if they had any suggestions. One of my subscribers sent me an email and some pictures. He's building this also. And I really appreciate the information. I believe his name is Alain. It's Alain. But if I butchered your name, I'm really sorry. He used Mr. Surfacer and just some really gentle sanding with a, he used a file, he said. What I did, let me move this out of the way a little bit. I took a toothpick and I wrapped a piece of sandpaper around it and then just held it with a binder. And I just really gently, paying attention to my grooves, went through and sanded each one of them, and then turned it around and sanded each one of them. And I've done that 2 times. I've got a couple of spots here that I've filled again. So I just did that. So those will have to have some chance to dry. But it looks pretty good. I can't feel any sink anymore. The test will be, of course, when I get some primer on it, which I'm not sure just when that's going to happen because we're in the middle of a snowstorm. Yeah, right now it's 20 degrees out, feels like 6, and we're expecting snow to continue for the next several hours. Most every place here in Pueblo is closed. But we've had 9 inches of snow so far, and they're expecting another 2 or 3 tonight. But we'll see. I'm not going to be able to open the window and do any priming today, that's for sure. But anyway, when that's dry, I'll sand the last few spots. But I'm real happy with that. Thank you for suggesting it. I think that'll work out fine. While I'm talking about this, we've got the hole for the exhaust to go through. So on the model, it has to make sure that this is in the right spot so that it all matches up. So I did quite a bit of work on that. This is the mount for the engine, and this is the front mount for the roof. This locks in here, so that's a set spot right there. Okay, the radiator will actually mount right in front of that, and there'll be braces that go back to it. But on this is the structural frame. Okay, there's a couple of little tabs. I'm not sure if you can see them or not. Yeah, here and here that locate this. I did a lot of measuring, and from what I can tell, the tabs go in front of the brace. So it'll go like this. If you don't glue it in the right spot, when you put the exhaust and everything together, then the exhaust won't line up. So This had a little notch out of it, and I don't know just why. But I went ahead and filled that with some styrene and sanded it. And then at the back here, this was too long, so I cut this a little bit. This is the back part. Let's see, make sure this is the back part. So it'll go here. Okay. But you got to make sure that this sits in the correct position so that the exhaust will come up and come through here, or you're going to have a problem getting it to fit later. Anyway, this I'm going to let dry a little bit more, and then as soon as I can I'll prime it. This is the other brace, and I think it's going to sit. It's kind of undetermined. It's just going to sit back here somewhere. Okay, so this will locate it, the front one, and then the back one will just kind of fall where it falls, I guess. Okay, let me get this out of here. So this will all be set aside for a little while till that dries. And we can set this aside. Let's see. There's the engine. So we can work on we can go on to step 17 and we can work on these fenders. I want to get my other mat back up here. I try and do my work on a small mat, that way if I damage it, I don't damage my real big mat. So here's the fenders. When I folded these, it left quite a gap there, so I filled that with sprue glue, and I let that set real good, and I sanded it. This fender is still warped just a little bit. I'm not sure just how I'm going to fix it. I worked on it quite a bit, but every time I tried to make it better, it warped somewhere else. So I kind of stopped while I was before I got it too bad. Anyway, these are the front fenders. As you can see, there's a rounded part here. That'll go to the front to outside. So this is the way these will go if the vehicle was facing this direction. Okay, so we've got some footsteps. Whoa, I'm going to have them everywhere. These are parts D13, and they're all the same. So we can get those put on. And then we've got some little braces here. And there's one I forgot to clean up. Well, how did I do that? All right, give me just a second. Luckily it wasn't too much, and I do, until I saw that, I was pretty sure that all the parts to finish this are cleaned up and ready to go now. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, and 4 of them. So let's go ahead and put those on. They'll sit here, just like so. Put a little glue just to get them to stick. And off just a little bit. Okay, just try and make sure they look kind of halfway square. Do another one. Yeah, I've been corresponding with him. I want to say Alan, but I think it's Alain, Alain, and he built the artillery howitzer that comes in another version of this, and he did a beautiful job of it. I may have to build one of these days. He's starting to build this now, so looking forward to seeing what he does. Okay, give those a few minutes. Do the other one. This is our first real snowstorm. We generally get most of our weather in late winter. You know, February, January, February, sometimes into March. But this year's been really mild. We've had maybe a couple of 2 or 3 light snows. They've basically been stuff you could just go out there with a broom and sweep the sidewalks off. Not anything too awful bad. Okay. Okay. I may have to do something else with this one that's warped. Depending on spacing, I may be able to glue a piece of brass or something to the underneath side of it. Something. I don't know. We'll have to take a look. Okay, that's those. And then we've got some other little parts here, D30 and D31. Now they've got a bevel on one side, and that will go to the inside. So this is the front, this is the outside. So this one will go, let's see, I want to make sure that will go there. And the locating pins are very, very tiny. Almost non-existent. Well, I tested it earlier. I can't feel them. There it is. Okay. There's one. And This will be the other one. Let's see. It's got some crud in the hole. Okay. Boy, locating mark pins are just almost non-existent. I can feel it just barely. Say that's it right there. Okay, there's one. And this one will go to this side. That one located pretty easily. Whoops. Okay, and one more. Turn it around again. Okay, there's step 17 all done up. Let's set those aside. Give the glue a chance. Okay, on step 18, I'm not going to finish this pipe quite yet because I want to make sure that I get everything at just the right height. Step 19 we've done. Step 20. Okay, step 20. This is the transmission. And I need the, let's see from over here, hang on. This is the floor. Goodness. The transmission has one square corner, so it's pretty obvious where it goes. Problem is, this one here is, this little tab here is supposed to, attach to the back of the bell housing. Well, there was a big gap. not a huge gap, but there was a gap. So I put a piece of styrene in there to fill it, just to make it look right, because I didn't want to see a big gap there. So that's where that goes. Let's go ahead and glue that. Probably could do that from the back side. Okay. So there's no gap there now, which is what we want. Before, when you looked in there, you could see an obvious gap. Okay. And then the fenders will attach here. And there's a recess, like so. Okay, I'm going to grab a couple of clamps. Hang on. Okay, get rid of those again. I could be using like Rebel Contact or something on this, but I think this will work fine. Okay. Okay. That's step 20, and I'm not going to attach it to the chassis yet because I want to paint it. And then there's going to be some control levers and things that we're going to have to add to that. So 20, I'm going to call that good for now. Getting more sub-assemblies. So what I want to do is I want to set this someplace that the fenders are not going to be. I don't want the weight on these, so I'll set it upside down. I'll put it in my box. Okay, that'll be good and secure. Okay, 21. I worked ahead a little bit. I was working on this, which was from step 15, and I needed to get the seams all taken care of, and then I re-riveted the top of this, okay, to restore all that, because the rivets were pretty much lost. So I thought, well, while I'm doing it, I've got this tank to do. So that was the water tank. This is the fuel tank. And this has got rivets and seams and everything too. So I went ahead and got step 21 finished up. Redid the rivets and everything. So that's all good to go for painting. In 23, kind of the same thing. There was a bad seam on the top and on the bottom. So I glued that all together, and I put Mr. Surfacer on there 2 or 3 times to get rid of all that. So this is ready for paint. Now there's a radiator hose that's going to come right out of the top here, and then one that's going to come off the bottom that I'm going to have to make sure gets lined up with the hoses and everything on the engine. So I still got to do a little bit of work getting this all fitted up, but it's just about there. So let's go on to 23. Okay. Won't be long, we'll be ready to do some paint. This I put together earlier, and I got the seams all taken care of. There's a couple of other parts that we need to add. So let's set this stuff aside. This is 19E and 21E. Oops. Okay. This will go in here. Creates a little bit of a box. Okay. Let me do a little adjusting. I want to get it to where it's even all the way around. Come on. Okay, that looks about right. Let's do a touch of blue for now. Okay. That's even. That's the way I want it. Okay. Okay, let's give that just a couple seconds. This is the, I guess it's supposed to be the carburetor. And it will go here. The joints are not too good. Fact is, I probably ought to file that or sand it just a little bit, make it flatter. Okay, and same thing here. And I did not check to make sure that went in that hole, and it does not. So I'm going to need to do a little bit of filing on that, or a little bit of scraping. It's just seam lines. There we go. Okay. This will go here. Probably should put this over first, but that'll work. I did check it, and I thought it fit. nice and tight. There we go. Okay. Square it up. I'm assuming that it must have some sort of like a preheater on it, where it draws warm air from around the exhaust pipe. Would be my guess. It looks nice and straight. It's a good idea for cold climates to preheat the air that goes into the engine. A little bit of adjustment there. Okay. There's 23 all done up. Let's put that back in a container. And let's see what we got going on here. Where are we at on time? 30 minutes. Okay, let's go to 24. We're going to be doing a little bit more on the bottom of the chassis. Okay, so we can remove this. Okay, and 24. We've got I haven't really done a lot of fitting on this. Let's see, these are the little braces that go from here to here, so I know where those are. Yep. Put a little glue on there. Okay. Sorry, you guys probably can't even see what I'm doing. Okay, there's one. And there's two. Okay. And then we've got these two braces. Getting a lot of parts cleaned up. And these are going to go from here to here. Okay. More locating. There we go. Come on. Tiny bit more glue there. Okay, that should have those. Let me see here. This has got, the front edges are rounded, and they're supposed to go, I'm not real certain if it goes right up against that or not. Pictures are not real conclusive. See if it shows anything any further. It looks to me like it goes right up against the fenders, which means that I would just as soon have the fenders in place before. So I may not put that part on yet. Okay, here we are at 25. Where we at on time? 35 minutes. I'm not going to go ahead and do this yet because I want to make sure I get the sink marks and everything out of this before I start putting the other parts on. We could do 26. Let's save that. And part 26. This is just a couple of little, I'm not sure if it's throttles or, I'm not sure. But got this tiny little part here, and we're supposed to put a couple of little handles on it. Okay, so what I need to do, I'm not sure where I put my little blue tack. Hang on. There it is. Okay. I need to be doing what my friend Peter's doing. These little parts like this, he puts down a wad of blue tack on the bench. Well, I need to knead that a little bit because it's kind of cold. Okay, let's see here. Put these on here to where I can get them with my tweezers when I'm ready. And we'll get this. Get rid of the glasses again. This will be like so. Okay. Okay, and there is a little, don't seem to make any difference. There's a little pin on either side. Fiddly. Maybe I ought to glue it. Turn that over. One side's more pin shaped than the other, I guess. There's one. One's more rounded. Okay. I'm not sure if it really matters, the location. Give it a second to firm up. Turn it over. Yeah, let's see here. Here we go. Okay. All right. We're going to call that good. Okay. All in little bitty parts. So we'll save that in here, mark 26. We're running about 40 minutes now. By the time I edit this, I think we're going to be about as long as I want to go. So we'll pick up with step 25 after I get the sink out. And then we have just these few controls, which all the parts are cleaned up. And we'll be doing some painting. So thanks a lot, guys. I really appreciate you watching. And we'll be back with a little bit more real soon. Okay. Have a great day. Bye-bye.